Okay, so here's the plan. This is a 2000 Honda Civic SI EM1 Civic SI, and Martin, my friend Martin from Alligator Window Tint is here. We got to remove, we don't know how old the tint is, but 10, 15 years old. So I'm going to show you, or he's going to show you tint removal, and then we're going to be tinting with a Prime Plus XR. No, Prime XR Plus.
That's it.
God dang it. I don't know why I can't remember this crap. I remember everything, model numbers. So we're going to be putting a much more modern ceramic, heat rejection, UV rejecting tint from Xpel called Prime XR Plus. He can just remind me. I can never remember the name of the stuff. So I'm going to grab the gimbal and the 5D and try to get in there. And he's going to show you on these side windows here how to remove it with steam and a razor blade and glue remover and all kinds of stuff. And then of course we'll be putting the actual tint on. He's already plotted it out, so it's ready to install. We'll be doing the windshield as well. For those of you new to the channel, haven't seen, we've done like 4 of these videos. Martin and I have of tinting various vehicles, but I prefer to tint the entire windshield, and we'll talk about why to do that here in a minute. Let me get the other camera set up, and we'll get you in a little closer. So how does removal differ from?
Well, removal can be a bit of a tricky process, just especially a car where the tint's just been baked on. So the easiest way to remove it is with a steamer. And basically just the hot moisture loosens up the glue, makes it easier to peel off, and then that way you have to worry about less residue like I did on the back window. But with the side doors, you can razor blade it off because there's no defroster lines.
So how much, a lot of people are going to have a question about this, especially if they've never had their windows tinted. You're getting water all over the place. How risky is that in the interior?
On most cars, not at all. The biggest thing that people seem to think is damage is, for example, if this door had just been dressed with some sort of protectant, the soapy water that I use is going to run and streak, and it's going to clean off the protectant. Mm-hmm. And that then has to be cleaned and re-leveled, or else it's going to look streaky. People always think that that's damage, and all it is just those spots.
Don't use that crap. You don't need anything in your interior to shine it up.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. But most any car, they've got channels in the window channels that are for the water to run off, so that way it's not damaging the window switches. I mean, obviously you don't want to use a great deal of water in areas. Certain cars you got to be a little more careful of. Like, for example, the Range Rover power switches are right up top right here, so you got to be careful about that. F-150s are a lot like that as well. But most cars, you just wipe up when you're done.
So this will be more common on cars like this that have been around a long time.
Oh, much more.
Yeah,
I mean,
then a new car isn't tinted generally. So removal is part of the game. When you have a 20-year-old car, chances are somebody has tinted it, one of the previous owners.
Especially on a car that's more of an enthusiast car.
Yeah, more likely to be tinted.
Yeah, if you've got a little bit older, Buick or something, maybe that was never tinted, but anything that's got any kind of an enthusiast following, like a Mustang or a Civic or Miatas now, a lot of those cars now are almost always, especially in Florida. It's difficult to roll Florida without window tint.
I always wanted to do tint on my Civic, but I could never, I never did it. It's a little harder to find a place.
Well, in Pennsylvania, don't you have inspections and everything?
Yeah.
So I got a friend of mine that runs a tint shop up in New York, and he has, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think he has some sort of policy about, if you've got an inspection coming up, he'll take care of you on the removal if you're going to retint it after inspection. But I'm so glad we don't have that down here.
That's true. You have a lot of repeat business, I guess. Or you have a lot of people who just won't do it because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Plus the tint laws up there are super strict.
Yeah. I've never been once pulled over for tint in Florida. They're just kind of, as long as you don't look shady, you know,
Yeah.
they kind of let it go.
Yeah, it depends on the type of car, depends on what you're doing, depends how dark it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I get pulled for mine quite a bit, but my tint's egregiously dark.
What do you tell them? Look, I'm a tint guy for a living, and
No, I just charge it to the game.
no.
I mean, I'm well aware of what the tint laws are, and I know that my windows are too dark, so on the occasion that I get a tint ticket, it just kind of is what it is. I look at it no different than, you know, when you buy a big truck, if you don't get 30 miles to the gallon, it's part of the package you bought.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same process as removing PPF. You want to try to leave as much glue on the tint as you can help, right?
Exactly. The big advantage to this is that I can razor blade this glue.
Oh,
if you leave glue behind on paint, you can't really razor blade that. That side stuff.
Okay, so explain what you're doing here for those who've never seen tinting done.
Okay, so what we're doing here now that we've finished with the removal, got all the glass prepped for the new tint, we've laid out the back window, which was computer cut, and then you lay the film on the outside, and then you do what's called heat shrinking. So in essence, it basically mildly melts the film, and then you iron it down and form it to the glass that you're putting it on. So basically, window film is flat and every piece of glass has some sort of curvature, so you have to make the film conform to the curvature of the glass you're installing it on. Everything else on that back piece of plexi, everything's been computer cut from Xpel's DAP program. Not every car has a windshield in it. This car is one of the ones that did not have a windshield pattern in there. So we're hand cutting the windshield with a bulk piece of material, and then I'm gonna bulk cut and hand cut the sunroof. So that way, every piece of glass is protected.
And so another common question is, I thought tint went on the inside. Why are you putting it on the outside?
Well, it does go on the inside for the install, but you form it on the outside so that way you're not roasting up someone's interior with a heat gun, because it would be very, very hard to get the heat into the bottom of the windshield right there at the bottom in a correct manner, and then also you would really burn up someone's interior, and I don't think anybody would want that no matter what kind of car they have.
And so you have like a soap solution underneath so it's not sticking?
Correct. So I personally use dryer sheets. Some people use a bar of soap, some people use baby powder. All you're really looking for is the anti-static, basically fabric softener. And what that does is when it dries, it allows the film to slide around on the glass so that when I iron over it with a hard card, it doesn't stick to the glass and crease the film. So when the car's got a windshield that's coated or treated like yours is, it makes the water want to stick a little bit less, makes the dryer sheet want to stick a little bit less. So you just have to add a little bit more to it and a little less water, so that way the fabric softener sticks to it and not run off with the water.
And so this is a 70%.
Correct.
And so my methodology for putting this on the windshield is that, you know, I'm not a big sunglasses guy. And so this takes the edge off of glare from headlights and sun and all of that. And so I don't want to go so dark. Like, I'm not trying to get a look here. I want it to be protective of my interior. You know, the windshield still has a lot of UV. It doesn't this will just, what do they say? This blocks out, what, 98% of UV?
So it's 99% UV. It's a 98% IR, and then probably right around a 71% total solar energy rejection. So you've got a ton of UV protection, which helps protect the dash, especially from cracking and things like that. It does cut out quite a bit of glare at the moment the percentage is slipping me. But the big difference is the heat rejection, and it does cut that edge off. So, if you're someone that doesn't like to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, and then, I get in the car, leave it out in the parking lot in the Florida sun. I don't have to put that goofy,
Oh, the chrome
eyeballs
shade.
or something, where it's like, it looks like the car has eyeballs or something.
Yep.
One of those radiant barrier heat shield things.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what I do to your car, it's going to be a little warm when you get in it. It's Florida. We don't participate in winter. But how much faster it cools down is incredible.
I can't handle the strip.
You don't want to do it period specific and do like a visor strip down to here?
No. The strip doesn't help me because I'm too tall. And I'm looking through the darn strip the whole time. It looks weird. I don't know when I started doing the whole windshield, but it's been probably 15 years.
That's about right.
Since I started doing a whole windshield. And in the beginning, I used to have to talk people into allowing me to do it. It's become a bit more commonplace now.
Yeah, well, with the window film technologies, the way they've come out with the ceramics, the way you don't have to go dark, you can get the same heat protection with the clear film as you can with the dark film. So, for example, on my mom's car, I've got 70% around her entire car. You can't even tell it's tinted.
So these were all plotted
Correct.
prior.
So now we just put these on the outside of the glass.
Doesn't that make you a hack? Isn't that cheating?
I know how to hand cut. I've definitely had situations where I get to someone's house and there's not enough internet signal to run the computer software because you have to be connected to the internet in order to use it, in which case you have to hand cut. And then I've also had my computer crash. And if you don't know how to hand cut, then you don't
get paid. Yeah. So do these side windows need to be shrunk?
A little bit. That's, the way that I do it is to get the top lock down, kind of push all the stress to the middle, and then I'll iron these out so that way when I put it on the inside, it'll lay flat and I won't have to do as much work on the inside to mitigate the risk on the interior. Not too curvy, but...
So this is classified as 20%?
It's 15. 20% is more of a common film up north. Down here, the legal limits are 30% and 15%, so most everybody in Florida is going to carry 15. Typically speaking, the only time I use 20 is if I'm trying to match factory tint on a pickup truck or an SUV. But this is the same as we did on the Corvette.
It looked like it was about 30-ish. What do you think it looked like it was on the car before?
Probably started out as 15 or 20 and then just faded over time.
Got it.
Sunlight's just going to abuse it.
And also, this is going to look a lot darker in here, and when you pull it out in the sun.
Yeah, everything looks darker inside or in any garage, really.
Yeah. And its car's coming together a lot faster than I anticipated. It's probably because the last 3 cars I've built, I've had too many things going on, and this one I've kind of gotten my life in order. And so I'm kind of flying through this thing.
Well, this also started in a little bit better condition than the last car you had as a project.
Well, the thing that's gonna hold me up is getting the parts from Japan that are coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you I ordered 5 sets of wheels.
Of course you did.
I don't know which one I want. So I got them all. And then we'll know.
Hashtag goals.
It's so cool though. I mean, all 5 sets of wheels cost less than what my wheels of my GT3 cost. All 5 sets of tires are gonna cost less than just the 1 set of tires for my GT3.
And they last longer.
Close. Yeah, it's true.
And you can rotate these.
Yeah, square.
Yep.
So we got all our dents pulled, paint corrected, coated, protected. Now I'm going to start bolting on. Next will be the short shift kit. I got 3 of those. I'm going to have 4 of those. I got to try out, figure out which one I want. A bunch of shift knobs. The Spoon Sport stuff should have shipped. Civic Type R headlights are coming, so they'll have like a gunmetal, brand new brand new ITR headlights I got from Matt at ICB in Arizona. Mugen seats, or Mugen, I'm supposed to say. We always said Mugen back in the day. It's hard for me to break that habit.
Any Fast and
Mugen.
Furious graphics?
No. I'm lucky I'm not pulling the VTEC stickers off the side.
That's surprising.
Yeah, probably. We'll see.
If you're gonna have to touch up the coating anyway, from getting the dents pulled, may as well pull the stickers and touch up everything.
Yeah.
One man's opinion.
And people you have to prepare yourself that notice there's slip solution all over the car. Notice he's not wiping down. He knows better than to not wipe down the paint. And then you just gonna want to go wash your car after your windows are tinted. You'll have to wipe your interior down likely, and or you do a quick little minor detailing to the interior. But you generally only have to do this once on a car, maybe twice if you had it a really long time. So I need to apply another quick little layer of coating of EXO on this because we did the dent removal. And so what I'll do is, I also haven't done the first wash, which I want to do in order to get all the extra polish, just polishing some of the cracks and crevices and some of the jams. And so I'll probably go do a first wash on the car this week and clean up all the slip solution and all of that.
Of which there's much.
Yeah, so make sure you ask your guy to, hey, I'm really into paint and paint correction. Don't wipe the paint down. I'd rather it be dirty than you're wiping it down. The other thing that I'll caution all of you, I'm not an easy, I'm not very easily pleased, but tint, no matter what, no matter how good, there's still always going to be. We're putting some film on the windshield or a window. I would urge you, don't. If it's real bad and there's 1,000 particles, but I pretty much guarantee you there's going to be 1 or 2 little spots on this windshield. There's not really any way around it. So just prepare yourself for that. The best thing to do is to not even look at it. Just don't even look. I don't look. Is in the beginning when I used to do this, when it was a ton of money for me to get my windows tinted, I'd be looking at and I'd be so disgusted. And I've had good and bad tint jobs over the years. Actually, I've had good and great tint jobs. I've never had a bad one because I've always gone to the recommended guy. But you just have to prepare yourself for there's no such thing as perfect. So take it easy on your tint guy. He's doing his best.
You go for 97%.
Yes.
No tint job at first. But when it's egregious, it's just...
sometimes you gotta do it again. Yeah.
That was the right call.
All right, that's a wrap. I had a big dirt spot on the windshield and ended up doing a whole nother setup. So I'll pull this thing out in the sun. It's probably tomorrow, so we can get some good drying. But what I'll probably do is just wipe the car down with an eraser tomorrow and put the coat of EXO on before I do any more. Before I wash it, I was thinking about that. Yeah, the back window makes the biggest difference. The back window was real janky. So that's the tint process. And we did the whole light instead of just the cutting it out like it was before. Actually, the back window was 2 pieces. They'd cut it down the middle. Probably to make it easier to install, right?
I was back before technology would let you do 1 piece. Film used to not be able to shrink like that.
All right, so that's a wrap. Civic, 20% Xpel film. Xpel. To me, it's more about it's more about the installer than it is about the film. There's some film that I really don't like, but this it's pretty good. It does a good job, and having the 70% on the windshield is key, especially here in Florida. I'd urge you to do the whole windshield. It makes it look so much better. So thanks for watching. Go check out, go like and subscribe to. Do you have a YouTube channel now too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Alligator Window Tint. Out of Central Florida here. If you're anywhere in a 2-mile radius where Martin's around somewhere, it'll come to you, or figure out how to meet you somewhere to get your car done, because he's mobile. He has a whole rig outside. Make sure to go check out some of the other videos. We did the Corvette, we did the GT3 RS, and the M5. So, thanks, dude. Thanks for getting this done.
No worries.
Civic's coming together one step at a time. Thanks for watching.